Yo, what's up?
Hello there. Hello there.
Hello, indeed. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Crypto with Cooljunk. Yeah. Yeah. So let's just dive right in here, huh? Just looking at the Bitcoin chart and our time frame. It's the typical big picture view I like to use, which is about a year roughly of data. So I'll zoom right into the recent price action and notice this green line here. That's the key level of support. And it's just been respecting that level pretty well. Even last night, it had that drop. And I can't say I'm too surprised. Just because there's so much downward momentum. While we did have a good bounce, especially here, you can't ignore that downward momentum. So when we get into these tight consolidation patterns, like this got pretty tight. When volume starts to dry up, like it did around here, it tends to take a turn for the worst. And still, it wasn't that bad because this key level of support it really held up last night. A lot better than the last the recent dips. That first one especially. Look at how far it fell past that level of support. And then here again fell pretty far below it. This one was pretty significant because if you cross-reference something like Ethereum, so let's go ETH USD. That drop actually made a new local low. So remember Bitcoin, this was the low, but Ethereum, it went even lower. And as you can imagine, a lot of other lower cap alts like lumens, stellar lumens, that one took quite a fall. You know what, actually I take that back. Lumens is not a good example. Look at that drop, that initial drop, and then the second one, it actually didn't make a new low. However, I think ADA was one that did. Oh, that's interesting. So Ethereum was an exception, but just barely. We're talking about 6%. So it capitulated about 6% more past that previous capitulation. Let me make a horizontal for that point, because that is a significant point. Okay, now we got to think where things could be headed again. Are we gonna retest this lower bound of support where it's been capitulating a couple times? And by the way, we're looking at May 19th to today, May 28th. So that's kind of time frame. I'm kind of ignoring up here, but I'll zoom in so it's makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so yeah, so May 19th to today, May 28th. These sorts of moves really give you some great insight to how these levels of support work, because you can almost imagine like a ball just bouncing on the ground and the path it makes. So, you know, it falls and it bounces, 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 kind of like that, you know. But we're like right in the middle of what you could identify as a range. So I have this price alert set up. By the way, price alerts in TradingView are so useful. And you can set these up for free, and they'll send you a text if you want. You can get a text if the price crosses that alert. Of course, there's only so many you can set up for free. Then it makes you pay for premium. And I did pay for premium, and I think it's worth it. It definitely helps helps you keep track of things without having to have a bunch of tabs open, you know, and constantly watching the price, which it's not very much fun, right? So the price alerts definitely help. And I'll explain my thought process a little bit with why I set these two up. So this one I'll put it back where it was. I think it was right about there. So this one I was thinking if the market can get if it can move above this level, then things are looking like they're well right on track to making new all-time highs, because that is significant resistance in my mind. And if the price can stay above it long enough, then I'll be looking to re-enter with a lot more buying power. Right now I'm trying to play it safe. I do have a lot of my usual holdings, but I have a lot of capital on the sidelines, because it could very well just keep retesting these lows, and if it does that, I want to be able to buy those dips. And that's where this price alert comes in. If it just blows right past this level of support, then I'll be thinking of what you could call a Hail Mary buy, where you can anticipate a bounce, sort of like the bounce we had back here, where it's almost an immediate reaction. You can make some good profit off of bounces like that. That being said, for some, this breaking past this level of support could be an indicator that the market is just going to keep going down. And in a case like that, it might be a good place to put a stop loss. That's not how I look at it, though. But just, and keep in mind, this is just my personal opinion. don't don't take any of this sort of stuff as places where you should set up your own buys or sells. Uh, something I'll be saying a lot is how you should never just go off of one person's opinion. Um, if you're going to be going the route of, oh, I'll just do whatever the experienced people are like, I'll just follow them. And you might think I'll just follow, I'll just pick one guy that sounds like he knows what he's doing. Um, I wouldn't advise doing that. Uh, how I like to do it, I like to balance. It's sort of a portfolio of investors that I follow. A lot of them are on Twitter, and I'll look at their analysis, and then I'll do my own analysis, and I'll come up with uh my own play. Um, but I think it's really key to carefully choose like a list. Make a list of people that seem like they know what they're doing, and most importantly, people who are not just trying to sell you something. A lot of people, they're trying to sell you their private Discord community. And I do follow some people like that, but you also want to follow the people who aren't in it to make anything. They're just kind of sharing their advice for free. Um, a lot of those people, um, you can even find them on places like StockTwits. Um, but mostly I tend to focus on Twitter. So let me go into a few people that I like to follow. Benjamin Cohen. I know I mentioned him last time, if anyone remembers me mentioning him, but definitely check this guy out. He does do a private Discord thing, but and I'm not a member of it, but um, the free advice he gives, it is so valuable. So you want to follow guys like him. Who else? Who else? Credible Crypto. I really like this guy. He has great analysis. Um, and from there you can find a lot of people. Just look at who these guys are following, and from there you can make a really good, really solid list of investors. So really be thinking about making that portfolio of investors. Maybe before you even make any trades at all. That's probably a good idea. Um, yeah, you don't have to go at this stuff alone, right? You can find some really knowledgeable people to help you out. Um, and a lot of it is just their charts. Their charts can be so helpful. Like Credible Crypto, it looks like he's sort of got, so to look at that lower level of support, it looks a lot like what I have myself. Let's see. Um, Let me go back to Bitcoin here. So kind of that lower level of support. Um, but yeah, it's good to compare what you have with the other guys. see if it's similar. Really be looking for a consensus among how you feel about the market and how they feel. That's how the market tends to move, is with that consensus. Here, let me go back here. He's kind of so he went with the capitulation. He marked that capitulation, and I'm kind of what am I doing? Okay, there we go. Yeah, like I put horizontals for the capitulation, but for that kind of this kind of channel, or this this linear regression, mine is more at the it's more in the middle. So and I think I like how I have it a little bit better. So like that, I think that makes more sense. And the market has been reacting to it. Like it's been in line with the support I've drawn. I have not really moved this level around too much. And ideally you don't move these things around too much. When you find a key level of support, you shouldn't be moving it a ton, right? Because you know, you want to have it right at the start. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, there is some adjusting that you'll do just because just the little tweaking it here and there to get it to line up with the most points. That's really ideal. But when you can get that level of support at the right spot at the get-go, then that's important. Hopefully that makes sense. It might be a little confusing, but you know, there is some fudge factor that you can factor in, but it's good to not move your key levels of support if you can help it. Let's see. Okay, and then I haven't talked about the RSI too much. But it's helpful, especially when it either gets really oversold or really overbought, because then you can start doing stuff like so here's this horizontal level of support I made, and I made it where I did because it seems to be a very significant level. When the RSI either touches or overlaps that level or crosses it, the RSI doesn't tend to revisit that level for a while. However, so May 12th it crossed it. And it could have very well done it on May 19th with that huge drop, but not quite. But when you look at it, like this, you can kind of see patterns that you may not have seen before. And to me, like, just look at how low the RSI is right now. To me, that's just another indicator that our our low, or the the various lows are pretty much in, and we probably aren't going to be retesting these lows. At least that's how I'm kind of seeing it. You never really know for sure, right? No one has a crystal ball, but when you weigh several factors, you get a much better idea of what could happen. And the way I personally see it, I don't see us really making a new low. So let me circle this point right here. So that's really that key low, and I do not see us revisiting that, at least not breaking past it. But it'll be interesting for sure to see how this plays out. Hopefully the price just keeps on respecting this level of support that I've drawn. It probably won't do it this nicely. We might see a little bit of capitulation below, and then return to it, and then eventually, though, I think we're gonna get right back up there, and maybe start making some new all-time highs. And if Bitcoin can do this gradually, maybe not such a crazy rise there, then we'll be able to see a lot of altcoins flourish. Bitcoin really needs to consolidate nicely before that can happen, though, usually, because when Bitcoin is pumping like crazy, a lot of people tend to jump ship from their alts and go into Bitcoin because they feel like it's the safe play. And it's mostly a self-fulfilling prophecy, I think, with in that regard. But that's what tends to happen. Let's look at Dogecoin real quick. Dogecoin. Huh. Interesting. So it's still been holding up pretty nicely. That there's that second level of capitulation. I'm kind of surprised it did not go lower than the previous one, like Ethereum did. So that's the surprise. But for the most part, it's just kind of reflecting Bitcoin's moves in a lot of ways with that recent fall. Let's look at ADA. ADA is a recent one that I've been building a position on. It seems pretty promising. And one of the main people I follow seems to have a lot of faith in it. Oops. Okay, there we go. But let's see. So where is it? About 50% from the all-time high. That's where a lot of altcoins are at right now. They're about 50% from their all-time high. Link is 80%. Interesting. Link is a project I like. Um, it's another one of those I kind of missed out on, because I did have some back in the day, back in 2017, when it was well under $1. And I just totally missed out on that. I just missed the boat on that one. But I have been building up a position on it. Um, but yeah, when the whole crypto market had that big correction after 2017, I tend I found myself selling off a lot of my altcoin positions and just kind of forgetting about it, which the real learning experience. Let's see what else. Let's read some chat stuff. I don't have any chat stuff to read of my own, so I'll just read what's on StockTwits. Let's go over 40K or under 20K so I can mortgage my wife. This pussy 40, 35, 40 moves are only wasting our time. That's funny. No, you should really be seeing these sorts of up and down moves like that as a good sign. It is a good sign. You know, you want consolidation like this, especially at a key level of support. So yeah, you don't want to get impatient. Um, yeah, if you start getting impatient, then you will more likely make emotional decisions than logical ones. So you gotta be careful. Oh, some bears. 32K by Sunday morning guaranteed. Nah. Well, I don't know for sure. It just doesn't. 32K. 32K. Let's see, if we go based on these the capitulation, that's not really a lot of data to go off of. But 32K is probably, if it went down that's probably where it would end up bouncing again. So that could be a good potential buy spot. Yeah, there's a lot less chatter on StockTwits going on with Bitcoin than in the previous videos. I remember I'd tab over to my chart and then come back and there'd be a dozen at least new posts, but it's really dropped off. So what is message volume is down 11%. Can we? I just want to see. Yeah, it's down a lot. I don't tend to go off of that sort of data, like the message volume, but I think it's worth looking at, because I think there is a correlation between message volume and trading volume. And if there's less trading volume, then with something like Bitcoin, when you see a big drop in volume, it's not gonna last. That's those sorts of drops aren't gonna last. It's just a matter of time before something happens, and then the volume picks right back up. And I think if you really follow what's happening, you can get a much better idea of which direction it'll be going. When that volume comes back in, what kind of volume is it? Is it buying, or is it selling? It is really hard to tell for sure. Um, lots of bears. Or both bear and bull TAs. I think either both losing it or lost it a while ago. Where you guys get this chart reading from? I don't know much about those TAs, but that does not seem like good insight.
We want to continue the conversation. What's really driving these wild swings, like we talked about over the weekend? We want to bring in Anthony Pompilano. He is a partner at Pomp Investments.
I follow
Anthony,
this guy on Twitter.
Bit of insight into what you make
does have
of these
some
wild swings,
pretty
like
good
today
insight.
with a 9% drop, and then like the drops we've seen over the weekend, only to rebound during the week. Give us some insight. If you want to play this, how do you do it, and how do you potentially be a little bit more careful around that volatility?
Yeah, look, I think that we're talking about a volatile asset here. And so Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are, frankly, the last free market left, right? If you think of the stock market as a comparison, there's hours of operations, there's circuit breakers, there's quite a bit of manipulation from a monetary policy standpoint. And so when you start to look at these free markets that trade 24/7, 365, you're going to have volatility. And then obviously you trade in off hours for an equity market. And so I think that some of this is just people who are coming into the space understanding this actually isn't that volatile, right? Over this past week, we've had a 9% drawdown in a single day, but we also had a day where it was up 11%. And so volatility works both ways. You just have to understand that this asset is not like a traditional equity. And if you understand that and you want to go trade it, knock yourself out. But most people in the space who have done pretty well end up being long-term holders. Over 50% of all Bitcoin hasn't moved in the last 12 months. And I tend to think that most people start out as traders. They think they're going to get rich quick, but very quickly they realize
that's interesting. What did you say there?
Start holders. Over 50% of all Bitcoin hasn't moved in the last 12 months.
Over 50% of all Bitcoin has not moved in the last 12 months. That is a good takeaway right there. And yeah, it might just be the best thing to do. It might just be hold. I know, like with Dogecoin, back in 2015 when I started looking at it, I should have just held it. I shouldn't have looked at the price until it was actually worth. Well, it would have been worth about a house, just about. Not in today's market, but a few years ago, I could have bought a decent house with that. But yeah. Victor asks, what do you think the price point will be tomorrow? I would be looking at on the low end, 32,000. On the high end, maybe 40,000, 41,000. I wouldn't expect a ton to happen, except I could see a bounce back up to this. It's kind of like a good in between level of that low and high, and that's where the market tends to go, is between that area of great support and that area of great resistance. And as we've seen, there's a lot of resistance now. With that initial capitulation, the price went right up to it, even above it momentarily, and then went right back down, and then back up, and then rejected again. So that's such a key level of resistance, and then again, the key level of support. If you want to err on the lower side, then we go to the capitulation level. So again, 32, between 32 and about 40K, roughly. Cool. Yeah. And just be ready. Because it can always get ugly. So Elon could start tweeting again. And you might want to be like, oh well, he's been tweeting a lot. It's people can only react to one person so many times, but he still has that power, the power to move the market. So you don't want to take that for granted. Do you think Doge will die out this year or keep growing? It won't die out, but I could see. Let me pull up the chart, and I'll kind of show you what I'm looking at. I'm zoomed in quite a bit here, so we don't see those lower levels of support which have not been retested. And I think it's very possible that Doge goes to start testing those lower levels. Let me find a good chart here. A good chart with long history. It is. Or I mean, it was really a series of tweets. I remember when Elon first started tweeting about it. It had an initial pump, and then it dumped almost right back down. But over time, he kept tweeting, right? He kept tweeting about it, and it just kept on going and going. So okay, some levels of support I'd be looking at. And it's not to say that Doge can't make a new all-time high. I think that if it is going to make a new all-time high, I don't know if it would be anytime soon, because think about what fueled that rise. A lot of it was Elon hype and stuff about Saturday Night Live. Well, shortly after Saturday Night Live aired that episode, there was a big sell-off. People selling the news, like they say. I'd be careful about thinking that it will get any of that fuel again. Like what is really around the corner for Doge, like in terms of development? Elon did mention some development related things, but why wouldn't he move on to something that was more feasible? Because there are things that are more feasible to scale, like he's talking about. Let's pull up that tweet that I'm thinking of. Okay, let's see. Not that one. That's the Big Daddy tweet though. That's the one that really got us where we are right now. But yeah, he was talking about scaling Doge and saying what it would ideally do. Where the heck are those tweets I'm thinking of? Do, 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 do. But yeah, it is crazy what one tweet can do. Please note, Dogecoin has no formal organization. No one reports to me, so my ability to take action is limited. Yeah, that's a big thing right here. You know, he has these ideas for how to make Dogecoin better, but he can only do so much. Like, he's referring people to the GitHub for development and stuff. And yeah, he kind of admits here a big part of his interest in Dogecoin is the memes. And that's not a good sign. If you're bullish on Dogecoin anyway, because if he's going to get serious about furthering crypto, Dogecoin probably isn't the best contender. We looked at potential contenders in another video. Remember, I mentioned it, ADA, XRP, Stellar, a bunch of different ones. Those seem a lot more scalable. See, someone suggested changing Dogecoin fees based on phases of the moon, which is pretty awesome. Interesting. I really need to look at this. Because Vitalik is someone that you should definitely be following. He had, I mean, he's the guy who made Ethereum, so any of these like legendary status developers that are around, you should be following them and taking note of what they say. I've been kind of neglecting to do that a little bit here. But let's see if I can catch up a little bit here. Ideally Doge. Okay, this is what Elon said. Ideally, Doge speeds up block time 10 times, increases block size 10 times, and drops fees 100 times. Then it wins hands down. Buterin challenged Musk's proposition, emphasizing the challenge of seeking to achieve a sharp increase in scalability and throughput without leading to extreme centralization and compromising the fundamental properties that make a blockchain what it is. Buterin stressed the need for decentralization to eliminate the risk of a network having a single point of failure and the protections that a widely distributed network enjoys against coordinated attacks. He added that decentralization cannot be achieved without regular users being freely able to run nodes. For a blockchain to be decentralized, it's crucially important for regular users to be able to run a node and to have a culture where running nodes is a common activity. Buterin also asserted that sharding can facilitate comparable scalability that offered by many centralized chains. So basically to get Dogecoin at the level of what Elon is talking about, it would ruin the whole decentralized aspect which you really need, right, for something like this. Otherwise, you're opening up the whole thing to attacks, because the network is less secure if there's a single point of attack, like Vitalik is saying, right? So let's see. Does well, you know what he'd say is Ethereum is the best, the the best thing to look into, right? Uh, Ethereum 2.0 really is. You can imagine that's what Vitalik is getting at, I think. Especially with sharding coming into play. He's saying, based on the current state of the Ethereum network, Buterin predicts that a sharded Ethereum could probably process 1 million transactions per second with the full security of a blockchain. But it's going to take work to do this without sacrificing the decentralization that makes blockchains so valuable. The Ethereum co-founder suggested that rollups will be deployed on Ethereum before sharding ships with Ethereum 2.0. Well, Elon didn't have the best counter to anything he said. He just posted a meme, which is kind of dumb. After reading that, I feel even more bullish on Ethereum. Like Vitalik definitely knows what he's talking about, and he called out Elon in the best way possible. Yeah, that's a good sign right there. Like, really, I think the safest play from an investment standpoint, in my opinion, again, I don't want to make anything sound like financial advice. Really focus on Ethereum and the projects being built on Ethereum, because that's what's going to overtake Bitcoin eventually, right? And I'm not saying Bitcoin's never or it's going to just die out one day, but and Dogecoin's not going to just die out one day either. But I think that Ethereum and all the projects being built on the platform are the things to be focusing on, especially after Vitalik's statement here, because it's a very realistic look. And holy sweet Jesus, I need a wrap up. I think I was saying I was just gonna do half an hour, and it's turned into almost an hour. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna wrap up. Yeah, Doge. I'm erring on the side of caution with this one. If I were to get back into this personally, I'd be looking at low levels of support. Just kind of a quick, just eyeballing, kind of eyeballing. 18 cents, 18 to 20 cents. Look for it to retest. So yeah, that I know. I really eyeballed that, but that does actually look pretty solid in terms of just getting a quick gauge of where this could fall. 20 cents, and then with a serious correction, 10 cents. Definitely will be keeping an eye on that. Link, what are you doing? Little bit of a rise. Looks like since I started the stream, so Ethereum was around 2,400, now just crossed into 2,500 territory. Let's look at that real quick. Wait, where's that? Where is that regression line I drew? Oh, did I delete it? Well, guess what? I could just make it again, because like it's very, you can kind of visualize it just without even zooming in too much. So about, yeah, that looks about right. So yeah, I'm expecting it to just kind of hover in this kind of territory. Maybe we'll see a little bit more capitulation, like back here. So maybe another. Yeah, let me draw. Let's draw some stuff. So maybe something like this. And then come try to break through that big resistance. And then maybe not quite. Maybe it'll try it again. And then maybe come back to that that linear regression. Then maybe bounce off it. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that there for now, though. Let's see how the market ends up moving. So cool. Hopefully, if anyone's watching and has been watching and tuning into my streams, I hope this has been helpful. I'm definitely new to the whole explaining things out loud, and I realize I may not be the best, but I think I'm doing all right. So hopefully that helps. Let's see what else. I'm gonna go for another minute or two. Just make sure there wasn't anything I missed. But most of all, I think see this article for yourself. I still need to. I want to listen to it eventually, because it's what I imagine they have some more commentary maybe. But yeah, read the article. It's on Cointelegraph. Yeah, and keep an eye on those key levels of support. Well, this is Ethereum. You can gauge a lot of the market just from an altcoin like Ethereum, because there's so much that mirrors the whole market with a popular crypto like that. But yeah, again, like someone asked what kind of range I'm thinking of for the near future, like tomorrow, between 3,200 and 40K, maybe 42K. So be thinking about that kind of range. Yeah, if something crazy happens, I'll try to get on the stream, and we can take a look at what's happening. But I have a good feeling we're just gonna see some consolidation. We had this huge rundown, a lot of overreaction to the news, like is so typical with crypto and stocks too. You get that you get some bad news out, and then people overreact, right? Always overreacting. And that's probably not gonna stop happening. Yeah, be on the lookout for news. If you see a sharp drop, be looking on stock twits, be looking on Twitter. But it just well, if you go on stock twits, just be careful that there's a lot of noise on stock twits, right? But so maybe just Twitter, and follow some of the people I'm talking about, like Peter Brandt. Yeah, I know I mentioned him before, but yeah, definitely him. Oh yeah, Big Cheds, he's great. Benjamin Cohen, he's great. Oh, and then Pomp, he was just on CNBC, Fast Money. Yeah, follow these guys. It's free to follow these guys. If you hate Twitter, well, suck it up and make a Twitter account and follow these guys. Yeah, be thinking of the sort of investors that you want to follow or guide you. There are so many good ones. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna stop there. So anyway, thanks to anyone who gave my stream a shot, and if you got any good info from it, I appreciate you sticking around. So I hope you join the next one. There will be more. Oh, and I might be. I already made a new channel for crypto. I just haven't added any banners or stuff. Maybe I'm still trying to decide if I want to start streaming on a new channel or just keep things going here. Because I think ideally I do it all on this channel because this is something that I like. I want to share, right? So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna stop here. Yes. All right.